Hello, coders. Good morning. Good morning. It is. Gosh, I sound loud. Turn that down a little bit. It is 7:06. Apologies for being a little bit late. I was making a cup of tea. What I would like to do today is I would like to upgrade some Symfony APIs, and we've got some bugs that I want to go through in this project. Let me just change the screen here. So this is the course API. That just sounds really, really sharp. That's strange. I think someone's been playing around with me faders. So this is the course API. I want to change the course API, and I want to do the user API as well, and there's some others too. Okay, so we're running off of Symfony 4.3 on the framework bundle here. I want to upgrade this to Symfony 4.4. And what I've done is I have ran, if I can find it, here. Yes, I've ran the tests against this Docker container. There is, 86 tests and 145 assertions. They're all fine, which means that I am comfortable to change this to be 4.4 and the console. Let's try that. Let's give it a whirl. Let's see what happens. 4.4. 4.4 down here. 4.4 there. Okay, and I think that's okay. Take a look at all of this lot. I don't think I need to fiddle around with all that lot. Let's turn that down. Require 4.4. Code exceptions, fine. That looks all good. Okay, let me see. If I did a composer update -- dry run, what do I get from that? Yeah, I like doing risky stuff in the morning. Yeah. So I was up really late last night fixing trying to fix a cause issue in the user API. The user API is an API that I haven't shown yet, and it's driving me insane. So once we get the course API up, I want to upgrade the user API, and then if we've got the chance, I'll tackle the cause issues. It's because the portal site is running off of a different address to the APIs. Oh, cool. All right, that went through. There's a lot of change here. Okay, because you can see that Symfony's been upgraded to 4.4.4 there. That's good. And then a load of Symfony bits and pieces. Has it brought anything else along? Yes, it has. Neon has been upgraded. Cool. Let's do it. It doesn't look like it's complaining much. Okay, cool. Now, when you do these things, I highly recommend doing them in a single commit. So then you can roll that back. And doing small little changes like this, rather than like bundling a proper, a big package upgrade, such as this with other code. Okay. That's looking good. It's complaining that I don't have the unzip package, and it gets around that by installing an archive. It does warn you that it might cause an invalid corrupted archive, but that's fine. Okay, looks like that's happened. Warning me that Facebook WebDriver is abandoned, Zend code is abandoned, and Event Manager 2. But I think nothing's caught on fire yet, so that's good. And it's done 40 packages. All right. So let's see if we can run the, first of all, it's done the cache clear, which is good. So let's do codecept run. Let's see if we can run the unit tests and the API tests. Now these tests do take time because they are actually running the APIs. So, fingers crossed, this doesn't fail. Oh, gosh. I was playing around with the cat last night, very late last night. I was, after banging my head against the brick wall, that is the cause issue, which is the cross-origin request issues. I thought, sod it, I'm going to start playing with my cat instead at 11:30 last night. So I'm very tired. So that's passed. That's all gone through. Wonderful news. Good, good, good. Nothing's failed. It's all good things. All good things. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I can go ahead now and do a git commit. And there should be 3 files here: the composer.json file, the lock file, and the Symfony lock file and the composer lock file. So what I've done here is I've changed these 5 things to Symfony 4.4. So I can do upgrading. Symfony to 4.4 star commit. Yeah, good stuff. Woohoo! Okay, that feels like that went okay. The user API, on the other hand, is something different. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at that. Let's go to. Where have I got this in my queue? Course API portal, resource API, user API. Here we go. Okay, so I've done a lot of change to this. I don't think I've actually shown you this, to be honest. Let's close all that. I tell you what, one thing I'm going to do actually is let's just run from the course API. Let's just run the dropping of the database, creating of the database again. Let's just make sure that all runs fine. Let's not just dismiss that this is perfect and okay. Let's just go through the motions, and then we can draw a line under the course API. So this is a bash script that I created, which will run. Drop the database, create the database, run the migrations, run all the fixtures. So it's purging the database, loading the fixtures. That's all gone through. Wonderful. Okay, cool. Good. This is a different story. Because I've been playing around with how the authentication works around the APIs. So before it was using FOSS-OAuth server bundle, which is the OAuth 2 functionality. And now I decided in my infinite wisdom to move it from that to JWT, which is JSON Web Tokens. So I've been hacking around with it a lot. If I did a poll, that's why I'm in my own branch here, so that you can see that there's a lot of files changed. A lot of stuff changed. So, and with this, I've even changed the Docker file, so we're now enabling headers, and because I was dealing with the CORS things, I've also been playing around with screwing around with other bits and pieces. You've got the JWT bits in there, the public keys, and in Composer. So this is running 4.2, not even 4.3 as we were doing in the Course API. Why are these highlighted? What's this? The version of constraint has no upper bound. This is not a good idea. Yeah, so this doesn't really fill me full of confidence. It's not going to be as smooth. It's not going to be a smooth ride as the other one. And also, these tests, these entity tests, there's not a lot of them. There's not a lot of tests here. So, yeah, fingers crossed, eh? So what we need to do, first up, is actually get this thing running as it is, before we even consider upgrading it. So let's do, let's come out of this. And it was, where are we? Services user. Don't have user on here. Why is that? Code, how to code well, system services. I'm not there, am I? System. There we go, user. You can see all the ones that I've been building in the background. CD user API. Okay. Docker ps-a. So these are all the containers. I need to get the user API container running. So we do docker compose up -d. So this is now going to build the user API. Excuse me. And whilst this is going off, because this will take a bit of time, we will keep half an eye on it. So this is using the JWT authentication bundle. It was using the Friends of Symfony OAuth server bundle, which was working fine. It was working fine. It was just one of those things that I thought, you know what, it would be far better if I used JWT rather than, a normal password grant type. It was an itch that I needed to scratch. But unfortunately, as I've been working through it, and I would have got to this issue anyway, had I have not, regardless of what authentication service I was using, I hit a CORS issue when I was trying to log in from the portal site, from our front end, into this user API. I had that all wired up last night, and I was trying to make a request, and it came back as a CORS. So JWT is a JavaScript, a JSON web token. Let me grab some tea. My poor throat. So JWT, there's a really great website, JWT.io. It's a base64 encoded token that your APIs can send to authenticate you. And in that token, here we go. And in that token, you can store non-sensitive information about the user that can identify the user. But because it's using base64, you can also do other things to it as well, like, for instance, sign it. So you have that ability to authenticate who has the token against the user. So this is essentially it, right? That's a token, and then in the token you have this payload, where you've got the user's name, and you've got some other various bits and pieces. You see where it's the blue thing, that's the signature that you can verify. And then it's got some other bits and pieces, such as the types, the algorithm that was used, so you can change up that algorithm if you want. Lots of places use it. Lots of frameworks use it. And what you would do from the front end's perspective is you would excuse me, is you would store it in your local storage. And then pass that up as a header on every subsequent request, and that would be your bearer token. Whereas before, what I was using with FOSSO OAuth bundle was I was using normal OAuth 2 grant types, so password, client credentials, auth code, those kind of things. This essentially becomes another grant type, essentially, because it's just another bearer token, an access token. But I decided to use it for reasons such as the fact that a lot of things support it, and also it becomes a JSON object, which is far easier to play with and work with. So yeah. So here we go. It's a industry standard method for representing claims securely between two parties. And then JWT.io allows you to decode, verify, and generate JWTs. So a JWT is split up between a header, so the header will have the algorithm and the types. It also has the payload, which has non-sensitive information about the user. So public and private claims, that kind of things. I don't try and put. I'm not a fan of putting in private stuff, to be honest, because it's only base 64 encoded. The thing is that you want to be checking the signature, whether the signature is valid. You want to verify that. So this is what an example payload could be. The payload is then base 64 URL encoded to form the second part of the JSON web token. And then this becomes your signature. And then you bung it all together. So it's like this. So these are the three sections. So that would be the red bit here would be the header encoded. That would be your payload encoded. And then that would be the signature encoded. And then what you want to do is put it, like I said, pass it up as in your header, like that. Now it was created by Auth0, but you don't have to use the Auth0 service for this, which you could do if you want to, but meh. So yeah. Right, how did this go? Okay, so that went through. Image for service user API was built because it did not already exist. That's fine. It looks like it's landed okay, so I should be able to do Docker compose. Exec user underscore API bash ls. Okay. So, oh man, my throat. What's going on with that tab? That's not right. Sorry, I'm just noticed something on my screen here. There we go. Now I can see the stream. That would all helps. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is do bin console Actually, no. Bin code sep. Yep. Run. And we'll run the tests. Okay, the first... Okay, so yeah, good. Tests don't work. Wonderful. This is because of the JWT authentication bundle that I added. I have to do a Composer update, I think. Composer install, even. Oh my Gideon. Oh yeah, of course I would need to do this anyway, because I've just literally just built the image. So yeah. 109. That's a lot. Yeah. Bang. And I'm not super confident about this because of the limited amount of tests I have. So it's not filling me full of confidence at all. I think I've got like a bunch of unit tests here on entities, but that's nothing. I don't have API tests. I don't have functional tests. So yeah, not great. Not a great place to be to do an upgrade, if I'm honest. And something else that I'm going to caveat this with all excuses now. I built this like a year ago. so this is like a year-old code. What do I have in data fixtures? User fixtures. Okay, so we're adding fixtures here, going through the particular user bits and pieces. Fine. We've got an auth controller and a user controller, reset password controller, create confirm token controller. Okay. A form, managers. A migration. Fine. But it doesn't look like those tests actually touch the database. Oh my god, that's it. Oh dear. This doesn't fill me full of confidence. There's not a lot of ground covered by these tests. Yeah, I mean, it's a good idea that I'm doing this early on in the project, I think, because then obviously the bugs will come out quicker at this end of the project rather than, I want to push it live next week, therefore I'm going to upgrade all the things, and then uncover all of the buggy stones after it goes live. So, yeah. Another thing that I've noticed is the setup is slightly different, isn't it? So let's have a look at Composer JSON. This is very different to the other one, Course API. This is very lightweight. It's using the framework bundle, whereas the other one, well, it isn't, and it's using, I think this was, it is using the framework bundle, but it's using all sorts of other things. I wonder why that is. There must be a reason. Let me just compare these dev dependencies, right? So, codeception, doctrine fixtures, doctrine migrations. Codeception, assert throws, okay, PHP stan. Make a bundle, PHP stan, and collection. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff in here that is, I mean, very weird. We got the debug pack. We got the maker bundle. Fine. We got these as well. The web server bundle. Why do I need that? How did that go? How did the Composer update go? Okay, that's fine. Good. Okay, I will attempt to run the migrations. So it's doctrine migrations migrate. Yes. Okay, cool. Do we have any fixtures? I think we do. Where did they go? They go. Do we have any fixtures? Yes, we do. So that is, whoops, sorry. Doctrine. Is it fixtures load? Yes, please. Purging the database, adding the fixtures. Okay, that's fine. All right, nothing crazy yet. Let's see if we can run the tests. All 4 of them. Code set run. Another thing that I've just noticed is that this is running from a different path to the course API. So when you're playing around with different services, it's always best to have a sort of a common way of doing things. Oh, that went badly, didn't it? Oh, these are just deprecated notices. Okay, that's okay. The FOSS user registration class extends. That is deprecated. Now, I don't have control over this because that is the FOSS user bundle, which is a package. But remember, we are going to be upgrading this, so I'm not overly worried. There was 4 tests. I thought I was just being comical there, and I said they're all of 4, but there is only 4. Okay. Yeah. So let me just jump out of this. Let's build another one a minute. Let's just actually bring it down here. Let's go into go into the course API. So above here, that's the user API. This is the course API. If we did Docker compose course API, if I did bin, so this was bin code set run. If I did bin code set, it's not there. I have to do vendor bin. Oops, code set run. So I'm just running those again to make myself feel better. So yes, there's an inconsistency. That's vendor bin and that's bin code set. So I'm going to just mark that down as an issue here. I won't put it as in progress. I'll just put it down here. That was what I was playing with last night. Replace FOSS auth bundle with JWT authentication by Lexict. I think it's Lexict. So this one here, we're going to add a bug. So it's adjust user API to, it was adjust user API bin path to match course API. Let's call them what they are. They're services in Docker. So API, there we go. And I'll just put a little note to myself. So user API, that user API is In fact, the user API is the correct way. It's the course API that is wrong. So adjust the course API. Bin path to match the user API. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. That's a nice rainy day task. I think it's just an adjustment in Composer to where the bin files live. All right. Cool. Let's get rid of that. Work on this. So. So, where do we start with this mess? Well, I guess what we do is we increase all of these to 4.3. Anything that is Symfony based and it's 4.2 goes to 4.3. And then we cross our fingers. I'm not happy with this at all. Why is the... So this is saying to change the constraints. And it's got constraints. PHP Storm has found the right constraints. So we'll sort them out first, I think. Okay. It's now happier. Good. So I'm going to just do a Composer update dry run at that point. T. This could just go bang, right? 4.2. And I just want to double check. I am doing the right thing. If I go to... let's bring that down here a minute. Symfony roadmap. I'm sure it is 4.4. Yes, it is. Long-term support is 4.4. Yep. Okay. Nothing to install or update. Interesting. Okay, fine. Okay. Right. So let's do it then. Bit nervous. So 4.4 on all of these things. 4.4. 4. Actually, I could just do. No. Let's not do a find and replace. Let's do this manually. Sometimes it's always best to have an eye on what you're doing rather than do a find and replace just in case you get the wrong thing. 4.4, 4.4, 4.4. Four, and the YAML one as well. Okay, that should be all of those up there. Yep. And then this should be 4.4. We'll leave those as is. 4.4, 4.4. Yep. 5.1, 3.4. Okay, and then we change this one down here. I think there's one down here. Yeah, the requirements here. Okay. Fingers crossed. I seriously need to write more tests for this. Okay. Wow. Okay, cool. It's a bit difficult though when you are changing the authentication mechanism. But yeah, I do need to spend some time writing tests. 54 packages. Yikes. Crikey. That's fine. I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll add that as well to the to here. So there's a bug. Add unzip package to all of the Symfony APIs. Unzip package to all of the Symfony API Docker files. Again, another rainy day thing. It's not a massive deal. It's just it'll just get around that warning. That's all. It'll speed it up too. Wow. Okay, that's gone through as well. Okay. Aha! Ha 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 ha! We have an error here. Cannot auto-wire service repository contact repository argument registry of method references in interface, but no such service exists. Try changing the type hint to manager registry. Okay. Let's have a look. So this is in contact repository. Which would be in repositories, contact repository. And we're failing because we're using, in the construct, Symfony Bridge Doctrine Registry Interface. Right. Okay. Let me just see what the others do. So that doesn't work either. And this one? Okay. So let's see what the warning, the error, it's saying try changing the type hint to Doctrine Persistent Manager Registry. I just want to, because I have another project, I have the course API, I just want to see what that does. Do we even have, yeah, we do have repositories. We've got lots of them. Let's pick one at random. So this is using the manager registry. So it's a totally different setup, isn't it? Well, hang on, it is using Doctrine Common. And that is what they did mention in here. Doctrine Persistence Manager. And this is Doctrine Common Persistence. All right. I'm just going to grab that a minute and pop it into this. I just want to compare the two. Just compare the notes. We will import that. So it's a manager registrar now. Plus we're passing in. Oh no, that's fine. That's fine there. Okay, so if that was then that. So it's a concrete class now rather than an interface. All right. Let's see if, I mean, it's going to fail on the others, I would imagine. So let's see if we can. I guess I'm going to have to do a. It's failing on the cache clear, but let's just do an update just to make sure that everything has ran through correctly. I guess I could just do a cache clear, but just to be, belt and braces, I have literally just upgraded 54. Is it 54? 54 packages. All right. So if my theory is correct, there will be another error with another repository. Now this isn't a really great example of how you should be upgrading your here we go, of how you should be upgrading your systems, because I'm relying on Composer to tell me the errors rather than the tests, which means that there's high potential, high risk that there's going to be other errors down the line that I'm not aware of. So I'm going to replace all of this with the manager and the profile as well, and the user repository. That goes to nope, sorry, it's that one. Copy that. Go into user repository, paste that in. Now I can also see that there's an access token that just doesn't exist here. Man, that's bad. Yeah, the access token doesn't exist. So this find one by token, this whole method just doesn't do anything now, because the access token was the token from the FOSS auth bundle. So yeah, that whole mechanism is just going to fail. And I don't think there's a test to check it, which is very annoying. Like I said, if you don't have enough tests in your code and you do something like this, then you're really sort of stumbling in the dark a bit. But the user service, the user stuff that I'm doing here isn't for the MVP. So this is code that will be released a long time away. I'm just sort of setting it up. Now we have the feature flags, I can actually push the portal to production if I really wanted to, and turn off all user integration. But just imagine doing this and then pushing it to production and then having it fall flat on its face. That's how embarrassing would that be? This is why I definitely need tests. Also, PHP Stan would have picked that up. Hey, Abandon. Welcome to the stream. I'm upgrading Symfony APIs, fixing bugs, and moaning because I haven't created enough tests. Whilst drinking copious amounts of tea. I hope you're well. So that seems to have gone through. Okay. Let's just run those tests just for fun. Okay, this is deprecation. I'm guessing there's a codeception change, right? If we compare the course API that has a huge amount of tests compared to the user API, let's see if what they've done on codeception. Codeception is 3.3, and with the user API, codeception is 2.5. Okay. I think what I'll do at this stage is I'll just commit what I've done, just because we're at sort of a semi-stable part at the moment. So we'll do upgrading or updating Symfony to 4.3, and we were fixing it was the repositories. Repository manager namespace. Imports. Okay. Good stuff. Okay, right. So let's see if we can deal with changing these. So codeception here is at what did I say? 2.5, something like that. 2.5. Whereas in this one, it is 3. So we'll grab that 3.0. Make sure we have it correctly. Do I have any changes for PHP Stan in the course API? Do I have PHP Stan in the course API? No, I don't. Naughty, naughty, naughty. Okay. All right, let's do a composer update. Hello, buddy. Murphy's just walked in. Off you go, buddy. All right. No, there's nothing down there you can eat, Murphy. Oh. As he's discovered, there's no food in this office, so he went up. I have PHP Stan in the user API. I'm sure of it, but I don't have it. I don't think in the course API. Do I not? No. Yes. I'm just can't see it. I just can't see it. Wow. Okay, that is 040. There. Let's just copy that. Make sure that that is the same one. No, it's not. All right. Let's. I'll wait until this is ran through. Although it's done. Okay, let's bump that up as well. Do a composer update. Are there any other sort of similar changes? It would be nice to bring them all up to a standard. What I really need to do, to be fair, let's see if I can do it. Let's see if I can bring that over there. And let's see if we can bring, we close that down. There we go. All right, so we got the user API here, and we got the course API there. So let's start from the top. That's fine. They're okay. See, I think Faker needs to go down in there, but as it's a development package. Okay, fine. Framework bundle, that's all good. And the devs, let's have a look at the devs. So code exception 3, Stan. Dev pack isn't in here. Profiler. Nope. Test pack. Nope. Web server. Nope. Fixtures. 3.3. That's 3.3. Migrations 2.0. Okay. No, I think that's okay actually. Yep. Okay, cool. All right. Let me just sort that out. Make that wider. So now Oops, no, that was the wrong thing. Sorry, projects, that's what I wanted. Now, what I'm going to do is see if I can get the... After I do that commit, I'm going to see if I can get the cause thing to be. So this is upgrading. It was PHP stan and codeception. Updating. I don't need to shout at myself. Updating PHP stan and codeception. All right. So, in order for this to work, I need to get the gateway bundle, which is that one. And I need to do a git pull. Sweet. So now we have the users stuff in here. Until I was fiddling around with the origin stuff. Okay. So system gateway docker compose up -d. Okay, cool. So that's now, well, actually let's do a docker compose restart just to make sure that that has actually restarted. Wonderful. And then we also need to do let's do that one. It's not the system, it is the portal. And we do Gatsby, if I can spell it, develop. Oh, hang on, wait. I think I need to bring up Gatsby, the actual portal site itself, and then do a git pull. Lots of moving parts this morning. There we go. Let's do a develop. One thing I definitely need to do is I do need to sort out the JWT, don't I? That's what I need to do. Yeah, I think there's only the public file in here. So I need to have the private PEM file. Okay, let's just see if this builds okay before I dabble with that. Too many things going on at the moment. Let's just make sure that that is in the right place. Yes. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so that's the front end. I'll log out, log back in, and it was... I think actually I need to I need to register. Yeah, let's do view, developer, dev tools. Okay, this is the cause issue. This is it down here. Has been blocked by cause policy. Response to pre-flight request doesn't pass access control check. It does not have HTTP status okay. Now, this is what I was playing with. So I don't actually need to have an account to actually get this error, which is fine. Which is okay. So I don't actually have to worry about setting up the JWT encryption stuff at the moment, which is okay. If we can just get around this error, happy days. Now, the reason why this is happening is I still need that to run. What is this? This is the gateway. So we're going to, at this point, we're just going to do a docker compose logs minus f of, oh gosh, hang on, docker ps-a, what's it called? Docker, actually, is it just gateway cat of docker compose? Yeah, it is. So docker compose logs minus f of gateway. So this is now tailing the logs for the gateway. And this is the issue. Can you see? We've got the options, it's fired options, and that's come out as a 500 to this path here, which is the user's API and then the auth login. So 500. If I was to, this is going to get a bit dirty. Let's just remove that. So this is the Gatsby. Let's bring in another. There we go. So let's go into system, and let's go into the actual user API. Let's go into the actual user API. So docker compose. We need to go inside the container. So exec, and then it is user underscore API bash. And then from here we do tail minus f var log devlog. Okay. Right, so this is complaining that there's an environment variable missing, but we don't need to worry about that too much because it hasn't got to that point. It's this thing that's causing the issue here. So it's doing match root auth login, and it's firing in the method of options, because what you do when you're dealing with clause, it frustratingly fires off an options request before it does because it does the pre-flight, which is the options, before it actually does the post request. Yeah. So it's all a bit silly. Let me just bung in a secret. I'll just make one up. So this goes into, just to get rid of this, because when you're looking at errors and you're looking through the noise of errors, it gets frustrating. All of this was the migrations, but there's actually an error here, and then there's an error here. Or this error caused a 500, which is that. So you've got to kind of map up the gateway logs to the actual microservice log itself. So let's get rid of this thing. JWT, this goes into the environment variable, which is in course API here. I'll bung it down here. I'll do it down here. Give me a minute. Just call it foobar. I don't know why I'm doing it off stream, but okay, that's cool. I will do that. That seems like a good environment variable. Thank you, Abandon. I have put that in. So, okay, let's get rid of that and that. Good things, good things. Okay, so hopefully now, if I was to simulate that again, and let's just go, What I like doing is I like giving myself a little bit of room in the log files. When you're tailing, you can just press enter and it gives lines, blank lines. All right, let's run that again. Okay, so it has been blocked by the pre-flight jobby. So, oh yes, I totally forgot about that. I need to restart this container because I've changed the environment variable, and that needs to be put into the environment of the container. So I need to come out of this. Ugh, dear. And then I need to do docker compose up -d. I think that should do it. Go back into there again, tail the log, run the test. Now really, this should be actually an actual test, right? No, it's still complaining, isn't it? Environment variable not set. You're lying. You are lying. I literally set that. Please tell me I put that in the right one. Yeah. I'm sure of it. He says, very doubtful. Oh man, I don't think I have. I think I put it in the course API. Jeez. Yeah. I put abandoned secret in the wrong service. Should be in here. And in there. Okay, good. Let's close all that. I mean, these are going to be totally different from the service, from the environment variables on production. So there is the knowledge that whatever I show on stream is not going to be the real deal. But still, I do like not to show things when I don't need to. User error is always the first security flaw. Okay, so let's go back to here, and I'm gonna have to rebuild this again, and then no, that's not rebuilding. That's going back into the container. Docker compose up, and then bash, and then tail, and then test. Oh, it's thinking about it. Something's happened. There we go. Has a pre-flight jobby. Oh, this is starting to frustrate me. Maybe I need to actually restart the container, or drop the container and bring it down. Yeah, maybe I need to do that. Docker compose down. And I am putting it in the correct environment variable. Yeah. All right, now bring it up again. Then let's go into it, and then let's run the test. Obviously, because I've dropped it and I've brought it back up again, the local history of the container is removed, so I can't go up and down on the arrow keys anymore. So I have to do tail -f var log. Whoops, dev log. Apologies for that sound. Okay, let's run that again. Oh, really? Why is that public key? Why is that? Hang on. Let me just check on the laptop here. Let's just see what I've done. Bring that code up. Let's see where I've put it. Oh. Oh, he says. It's very different. I see. Okay, right. Bear with me a minute. Bear with me just a minute. I see what I've done wrong here. Yeah. I'm putting in the wrong. Yeah, give me a second. It's supposed to be JWT secret and then public key. In fact, do I have one in here? Yes, I do. Fantastic. Right, we'll just copy that. Put that into there. And the public... Oh, it's a public key, which does require the JWT to be built. Gotcha. Okay. Bit of a sidestep from what I was doing. But anyway, let's deal with that. So I'm going to just bring that down there a minute. Yeah, this is a great little explanation of how to actually create the keys. So we'll make one up. This is still in the user container here. So I'm going to type SSH keygen. Actually, no, I wasn't doing SSH keygen last time. I was doing OpenSSL. Well, bear with me a minute. Let's see if I can find the actual one I was using. Don't think it terribly matters, but there, here we go. I think this is the one I was playing with. I'm sure I've got OpenSSL on the box. Can I bring that down a wee bit? Sorry, I'm fiddling. Open... yes, I do. Good. Let's change this to be... was I actually running it? I think I was actually running it. Sorry, I'm fiddling now. This needs to be in var. This needs to be in Apache 2 config. Apache 2. No, wrong project. Apache 2 config JWT. Cool. And you need to make sure your passphrases match the passphrase that you've put through. So I'm just going to create one. And you need to verify it. Groovy. So that should have done the private key. And then you deal with the public key. So again, I need to change the path of this to be Apache 2 config JWT. And again, with this needs to be the same. Apache 2 config JWT. And then you press enter, and then you put in the passphrase that you created. And there you go. And now I can see that I have both a private and a public PEM file. rid of all of those things. There you go. Can you see that? Up there. Right. So. Can we come out of this? I'm going to just drop this again. This time I'm just going to do a restart. Cool, that's done. All right, let's go back into it. There's so many moving parts here. Nuts, isn't it? Let's go into the tail of -f of var log. Oops, sorry, dev log. And let's see if we can get this to actually come back and get rid of that error. So it was that one. Let's clear down this console. Login. Okay, so we still got this cause error, that's fine. But do we have... No, it's gone. Wonderful. So we can now focus on this cause issue. Gosh. Let's bring that up. This is the... see, it keeps firing off options. So this is now returning a 404. Before it was doing a 500. The 500 was because of the JWT issue. So I should have fixed that. So I'm glad I did. And then here is a 404 because this is saying that the options request to this isn't allowed. Only a post request. Unable to look for controller as the control_controller parameter is missing. Uncalled PHP exception. So yeah, if we can fiddle around with this, the root is wrongly configured. If we can fiddle around with this a little bit and see if we can get around this cause issue, this annoying cause issue. To show you the actual front end of it, if I get a portal, it's in auth, services, and then auth. So I've commented out what we had before, which was the hard-coded stuff, and then here I am trying to log in. I'll just get rid of that for the minute. That was just tests. Passing in the username and password, we're forcing the content type to be JSON, and we are going to be accepting JSON back. And then it should come back with a token, because what I've got running on the actual authentication is that once you log in, it then returns you the token. But it's falling into this trap because we have a cause error. Yeah, I think what I'll do is I will put in a bit of debug at this point, just to let me know that that button has been pressed, because obviously it has to take a little bit of time because it's actually making an API call. So console debug, calling auth API. And I'll put that in backticks just so I've got something that should say calling auth API, because you see there is a little bit of latency there. Okay, now there was something I did see late last night that could come in handy, and that is there is a package I'm using the JWT. Here we go. I am using this bundle, Symfony JWT. I'm using this bundle to handle JWTs, and there is a bit down here which is working with cores. Working with cores. There are several ways to add cores requests handling capabilities to a Symfony application, the fastest and most flexible solution being the Nelmo cores bundle. This bundle allows you to enable and configure cores rules very precisely without having to modify your server configuration, which in my opinion is a big win. See the documentation for installation and usage instructions, but this is how you do it, run it with the Lexic JWT authentication bundle that I'm using. So the important thing to note here is that both the login and API firewall paths in our example must be configured to allow cores requests. So I think this might be hopefully a solution. What I've done in what I've done in excuse me, in the gateway is it the gateway? No, it's not the gateway. Sorry, it's not the gateway. It is the user API in the Apache configuration in dev. I've tried to hack this up. So I've tried to put in the headers to allow cross-origin stuff. Obviously, and one of the reasons why this is in the dev thing is that this will be very different when it goes to test and prod. So I'm going to remove this. I'm going to comment this out. If I can. Are you going to allow me to comment this out, PHP Storm? No. There we go. Right, I'm going to comment this out because I want to just use that bundle. Which means that I'm going to need to come out of this and restart Apache. So we can do that by running restart. So that will restart both the web server and database. Good morning, Waddle. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Hope you're well. Hope you've had a good Monday. As it's Tuesday now. Let's go back into here. So I've just restarted it. We're going to go to the dev thing here, and we're going to keep an eye on both of these logs. And I will find the right tab eventually, and then log in. Okay, so without those headers, we now have this, which is has been blocked by cores policy to pre-flight request doesn't pass access control check. No access control allow origin header is present on the requested resource. Blah 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 blah. So I got around that by adding in those headers, but then I hit this issue. But because this package, the JWT package, suggests that this Nelmio package bundle, I should say, Nelmio cores bundle, might work. I'm going to remove all the hacks that I've put in place to allow this to happen. I'm sorry to hear that. Son isn't feeling so well. I hope he gets better. Hope he gets better soon. So let's open that up and see what I need to do. So we're going to do a composer require Nelmio cause. In here. I don't like it where it hangs like this. Doesn't fill me full of confidence. The speed in which it's slowing down. Okay, so it's now installing that. Fine. Good. All right. And then I'm hoping it's going to apply that to the bundles. But we'll double check. Come on. Give me back my prompt. Why does it take so long? Please. There's no public assets to install. Okay, there we go. So that's gone through. So let's check that out. That should be now in... where did that go? That would have gone... I'm looking for the bundles. Oh, wonderful. Thank you for that magic mouse. SRC was in config bundles. So yeah, that has been put in. Good stuff. Okay, Symfony Flex generates a default configuration in config packages Nelmio cores. Packages Nelmio cores. There we go. The defaults are the defaults values applied to all paths that match unless overridden in a specific URL configuration. If you want them to apply everything, you must define with that /. This example config contains all the possible config values with the default values shown in the defaults key. Okay, fine. In paths, you see that we allow cores requests from any origin on /API. One custom header and some HTTP methods are defined as allowed. As always, fine. As well, sorry. Pre-flight requests can be cached for 3,600 seconds. Interesting. Okay. And in this bundle, it's suggesting that /API, we allow origin. All right. Defaults. Okay. So /API. We're not we're not using /API. We're using /. If I go to the security, it's users API. Users API. Yeah. So let's grab that and put that into it's in paths. And it is there. And this would be users API. Just want to double check that. Let's go to the controller, auth controller, users API auth. Users API. That's fine. Okay, allow origin, allow headers, allow methods, max age. I'm a bit confused because we're firing off an options request and it's not in here. So I can't see anything that allows those methods coming through unless they're not deemed as sort of true HTTP. Here we go, options. How to ignore pre-flight requests on New Relic. On specific architectures with mostly authenticated API, pre-flight requests can represent a huge part of traffic. Yes, they can. In such cases, you may need to monitor on New Relic this traffic, which is, by the way, categorized automatically as unknown. A request listener can be written to ignore pre-flight requests. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. The project's going quite well, actually. Yeah. We're thanks for asking, Waddle. We're working heavily on the the design. Well, I say that. I've basically thrown it all together. I don't have a designer as such, but it's and I'm playing around at the moment with the actual login side of things. As a side note, actually, though, it is starting to come together in the sense of it's mostly now content that I have to add to it. So, for example, with the courses, there's 16 courses and there's only 3 here. So this is a content issue that I need to put through. Same with the blog. There is far more than just 2 pages of blog entries. Same with the resources. There's more than just these resources. We are working. Yes, it's me and Murphy. Murphy's telling me what to do. So yeah, in terms of like functionality, I think we're quite close for the MVP. However, the content I need to put through. What we're doing on today's stream with the user stuff, this isn't going to be in the MVP. So the user integration, the login, the register, all of that stuff isn't going to be in the first ever release. And I'm using feature flags to turn these things off. Which means that I can develop it on the site. You know, I can actually push to production with these feature flags turned off. So all I need to do when I do publish the latest version of it is I just turn the feature flags on, or I just remove the checks. So yeah, it's coming on. It's coming on. There's also a little bit of fiddle with the look and feel. There's a lot of issues here. I want this to be the same height. And I need to put in content for the actual courses themselves, which I think is going to be like actually applying the content is quite tricky. There's, because it's copy, I have to think about marketing it and all this stuff, using the right words for SEO and all of that horrible stuff. So I think it's going to be like a few more weeks before I actually push the MVP out, because I just need to sit down and put through the content, churn the content out before I actually push it and launch it. In the meantime, though, on the streams, I'm working on features that will come after the MVP. Hence this fighting with the cores issues. So at the moment, I have an API, a user API, which is built in Symfony, and it has a login mechanism using JWT. So that's the authentication. And at the moment, I'm trying to log in. And if I showed the developer tools, so you can see that there's a load of these origin issues here. So if I was to just log in, this account doesn't actually exist, what I'm putting in. But we should at least have an error message saying cannot find account or something like that. Why is this not... Come on. There we go. So yes, so we've got all this stuff to play with. Now I've just changed that configuration.
Hello, coders.
Hey, Codebase Alpha. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. I hope you're well. Thank you for following along. So I've just changed that. I think what I need to do is restart
coders.
the old container, the Docker container. Hello, Jay Fenn. Thank you for following as well. Thank you very much. Hello, both of you. Very kind. So we're going to come out of this container and we're going to restart it again for like the billionth time today. Or I probably need to just clear the cache. Actually, I'll do that when I jump into the container. So in terms of the services that we have, we've got the Course API, we've got the User API, we've got Ghost, which is the blog, and then of course we've got the front end, and we've got the gateway that brings it all together. So you can see that there's more moving parts now, and there's going to be a lot more as time goes on. So Docker Compose restart. We want to dive into the container, and we want to do a bin console cache clear. So up here we're tailing the logs for the gateway, which is a reverse proxy server. It's an Nginx reverse proxy back to the various services and off to external services as well. Okay, so that's good. Let's, oops, wrong terminal. Let's tail out the logs again. And then let's hit login. See what happens. Okay, so that's moved on. So we've got options here. That's a 200 OK. Ooh, first time an options have come back as a 200 OK. Nothing, no errors here. Nothing's come out here. What's the issue here? Has been blocked still. Okay, has been blocked by CORS policy. Response to pre-flight request doesn't pass access control check. The access control origin header contains multiple values. Does it? Why does it contain multiple values? But only one is allowed. I thought I only added one. Have the server send the header with a valid value, or if an opaque response serves your needs, set the request mode to no CORS to fetch the resource with CORS disabled. So that, yeah, okay, so there is one way I could do this, and that is to set the CORS to be disabled, so no CORS in the fetch routine. So I could essentially, what it's talking about there is I could go into the portal where we're actually making this request here. I could actually put in a method, which is, I think it's mode. And I think I can do, whoa. I want this no CORS. Hey, Sabi. Just to test it out, right? Just to play with it. Hope you're well, Sabi. Ooh, we got a 404. Okay, this is a different error. Unexpected end of input. Oh, have I broken it? Something's not right here. Anything in the logs? Unable to find the controller for path. User API auth login. The route is wrongly configured. I'm not. Oh, my dog's just walked in. No, I'm not, Sabby. Unfortunately, no. What have you brought in? Sorry, my spaniel's just come in and presented me with one of my socks. Thank you. Thank you, Murphy. I'll put that on later. When I say I'll put that on, I'll put that in the wash. No, I'm not. I'm not. Sadly, my grandmother is not doing great. So I shan't be at PHP UK. I'm going to visit her this weekend. She's got very late stages of dementia, so it's not great. So yeah, I'm definitely looking to hang out with everybody again very soon. I will be off, just to let everybody know again, I will be, there'll be a period of time where I will not be doing How to Code Well, just to have a break, just to get over, just to, spend a bit of time when things get rough. Okay, so what's going on here then, eh? What's going on here? This is now 404. User... What's a post request? Murphy. User API auth login. That's exactly what we're hitting, though. And yet, there's no logs down here. Thank you. So, okay, this is interesting, because if I remove that, then we get a whole different thing. So this is now saying it's blocked by cause. Response to pre-flight request doesn't pass access control check. The access control allow origin header contains multiple values, but only one is allowed. Have the server send the header with a valid value, or if an opaque response serves your needs, set the requests mode to no cause. Bit of a head scratcher, this one. Waddle's asking, when using MVC and building JSON APIs, what exactly would the view part be? Part there. You can. Yes. So the view of an API, in my opinion, is the response. And of course, with APIs, you don't have to use JSON. It could be anything. It could be XML, it could be CSV, it could be plain text, it could be JSON, it could be, So the view is how you, I don't want to use the word display because it's not really displaying, is it? It's how you convert the model to the response. So the controller would be taking the request. The model would be defining where the data, how the data hangs, and then the view would be how your words are failing me this morning. I obviously haven't had enough coffee than you. The view is how it is sort of transcribed, I guess, to the front end. It's how it's sort of, I'm going to use the word displayed, it's sort of how it responds. No, that's fine. No problem. Don't worry. Questions like that is good. Man, this sucks. So I hate these things where it says try and do this, and then you do this, and you get another error, and it's like not too sure whether I don't think I want to do that anyway. No cause. Now there is, on the gateway itself, I have hacked that around. Let's take that out. So I'm going to have to restart the gateway. And then we go into the logs of that. Do a reverse search of logs of the gateway. Thank you. And then, right, let's see if we can run that once more. It's just because it said that there, the allow origin multiple values, and I just thought I'm also putting that into the gateway. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh wow! That is exactly what I wanted. It was. Oh, let me recap because I really appreciate there's lots of moving parts here. That is exactly what I wanted. Yes. So what we're doing, and it's right on time as well, because I've got freelance work to do. So, wow. Oh, I'm so impressed. Okay, so let's pedal back a bit. So the way this is set up is that you've got the portal site is the Gatsby site, right? And it's firing off when you hit the login. It's putting in the username and password, and it's going to this API. I'm so excited that this is working. So that's firing off to the API, and the problem I was having was because it was doing a pre-flight. It was sending up options, and I was getting a lot of issues with cores. So I was fiddling about very late last night, and I was putting cores header checks or adding headers to the actual gateway, this is the reverse proxy. I was also foolishly putting in headers in the API, I was doing it in the actual virtual host of dev in sites available in here. Can you see all of those things? So I was just fiddling last night. It was proper trial and error type stuff. And what was really screwing up is because I had both the access control allow origin in the Apache microservice here, as well as we had that running in the course API. Not the course API, sorry, in the gateway. We had it running here too. So not only was I adding a header to, on the gateway request, but I was also adding a header in the proxy. And what I really should have done is dealt with it down here. Whoops. Let's not break it even further, shall we? And then what I was doing, and then the real sort of icing on the cake was in the user API. I added, so we can get rid of that now. In the user API, I added the Nelmio cores bundle, and I adjusted the routes to allow origins of all of these things now, and allow headers. Excuse me. Now, obviously, when this goes live, I'm going to be tweaking this quite heavily because, and to be fair, I should really be only allowing the origin of the actual request. This is allowing everything, which isn't great. But wow, it's working. It's working. That is so good. I am so happy with that. I mean, it's working to the point where it's saying that there's credentials that are invalid. That's beside the point. Let me just see if I can quickly do something in the last few minutes. Let's get a postman. Let's do... are you going to not pull down the latest changes? Thank you. Go into register. And we'll register it with these crazy credentials. Let's hit send. Oh. Okay, hang on. Hang on, this might not work. No, I don't think that is going to work, actually. That needs to be... API, how to code well, port 8081. And it is user API. And if I hit send again... Oh, that's a frustration. User, that should be user. Is it user or users? Ooh. Users. Oh, okay. No, I don't want to discard my changes. Thank you. I want to update them. Thank you. Let's hit it again. Yay! And we got a token. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That's a JWT. That is a JWT right there. Yes. Boom. Ah, this is a good Tuesday morning. So, I've just logged in. I've just registered with these credentials. Can I? Oh, this is going to be the icing on the cake. So, in the... what's going to happen is in the... and we literally have a few minutes left of this stream. In the portal, what I'm doing here is I'm going to print out your token. So I want this to be in the response. We're going to log in using these credentials. Let's see it. Let's see if we can do this. Calling the auth API. Come on. Come on. Oh, boom. Yes, we've got it. That is so cool. We've got the token. We've authenticated ourselves. Good. It's great when you start your day achieving something. Now I'm going to work on a load of Vue.js today for in the freelance world. Thank you ever so much, everybody, for watching me struggle through this process. Happy coding, everybody. I do need to shoot off, but it's been great. It's been emotional. Thank you ever so much. Happy coding, everybody. Have a great day. Have a great day. Cheers. Bye-bye. I can't believe I got that to work. Brilliant. Cheers.